Welcome to Complexity Made Simple. And in this video, what we're going to take a look at, this is video 1 in the Material Replenishment module. And the first thing we're going to talk about is how changing and improving material replenishment will affect your MRP. So this is Material Replenishment. Okay, so the first little piece of advice I want to give you is very simple. How this affects your MRP system. Because typically what most companies are doing, obviously you can decide whether you're doing this. What you use your MRP for is two things. You use your MRP for material supply. Okay, so buying things in from your suppliers, etc., buying raw materials in, but you also use it to plan production. And they're the two things that you use your MRP for. Now then, if you're going to transform to a pull system, which is what of course we talked about when you are doing the process design for flow, you are going to use stock as a tool, and therefore we're going to implement pull systems into the Carlisle operating system. What you're typically going to do is you're going to stop doing that. You're going to stop doing the production plan through the MRP system. So I want to just give you an example of McDonald's making beef burgers. If you use your MRP for these two, what McDonald's would be doing is saying at 10 o'clock on a Wednesday morning, we need 5 beef burgers with the gherkins removed. And they would make a plan to just make product based on the forecast in the computer. Obviously that isn't what they do. They use pull systems to activate production of beef burgers. So that's the system that you're looking to implement effectively. Okay. The other side of the use of MRP, of course, though, is if McDonald's are going to plan how many cows do we need this year to supply the whole of the USA, or the whole of the UK. How many cows do we need to produce? How many potatoes do we need to grow? Well, of course, the MRP system is brilliant at this, because what you're going to take is you're going to take demand from thousands of locations. You're going to sum it all up and you're going to say, we need 4 million cows this year. We need 4,000 tons of potatoes this year. Whatever the aggregate value is. And of course what you're going to do is spread that out over a 12-month period, or spread that out over a 52-week period. This, the MRP system, is brilliant at. So for you, what would you be using it for? Well, of course, you're going to make a widget. So this is your finished part. The finished part, of course, has a bill of material. It says we're going to make 20,000 of those. Well, if it's going to make 20,000 of those, we're going to pull on, supply chain 1. This is how much material it needs. Supply chain 2, supply chain 3, supply chain 4. And of course what it does is it sends out the forecast all the way down the supply chain, given that you're going to make 20,000 of these over the 12-month period. That is what MRP is brilliant at. That's the transformation. You are going to replace this with pull systems and visual management. Now then, why does this work and this doesn't? It's very simple. This is reality. You are looking at the real parts that your customer really wants you to make. When you look at the computer, you are looking at a what's the word? You'd almost say a guess. It's like a computer simulation of what your customer wants. Now, hopefully, of course, these two match one another. But what do you find most of the time? This doesn't work. So you have to replan, be very agile and move things around all the time. You're running out of raw materials. You've got too much raw materials in your factory that you don't want. A pull system will never do that, because a pull system is reality. If you look and there is no signal to make more, you won't make more because the customer didn't take them. If you look visual management and, do we need to buy more raw materials? If the raw materials are sitting there, there will be no signal to buy any more raw materials. You can never have too much raw material when you use pull, because you're looking at reality. This is looking at a simulation. That's why pull works. So that's the big change you're going to make by putting in a new replenishment system based on pull.